Alright then, so hello friends, I'm Moon and today we'll have a deep dive into the latest version of Fedora 44 Beta Edition, which comes with the latest of the greatest, Gnome 50 at last. It's literally the first distribution to come up with. And at last, we can have a hands-on experience on how is the latest version and see what is new in this update. So yeah, let's begin. So first, let me just introduce Fedora Linux to the newcomers. It has always been the most cutting-edge Linux distribution which gives the perfect balance between stability and out-of-the-box, latest or the greatest ingredients of what's going on in the world of Linux. And this particular version comes with Gnome 50, which hasn't been released yet, and it is maybe one of the first distributions to come up with. Along with, if you go for the KDE version, you're gonna get KDE Plasma 6.6. And yep, this one is a major release. Well, both of them are, but KDE seems to always give a little major upgrade to their desktop, while both of them are just amazing. It all depends on the user. I prefer GNOME 50, so that's where we will dive in. So first, let me just explain everything to you, okay? So the first thing, GNOME 50, and this is the default desktop of Fedora. The key improvements are supposed to be improved VLAN session stability as always, along with you will get better power management with system depower throttling. That means that, let's say if you have a multi-GPU support, then the power saver mode will definitely, hopefully, disable the dedicated GPU and give you better performance only through the integrated GPU. And yep, it is gonna reduce the power outage and the amount of power supplied to CPU. So yes, those things do work. They're not just there for the show. And leaving that, you will get better performance throughout the desktop. As you see, GNOME is all about fluid, smooth experience everywhere, from applications to every part of the system. And it's gonna be even better with better efficiency, which means that all the animations, the fluidness of the whole desktop will not use much of the resources of CPU and GPU, and they will work at minimal expense while giving you amazing performance. And yep, along with that, you will get refined UI animations as well, along with updated system settings layout. These improvements continue the Fedora's long-standing goal of making GNOME the most amazing, smoother and more efficient desktop in the world of Linux. Well, since we are talking about GNOME, let's go ahead and deep dive into the core system of the under the hood updates. First, let's begin with the Linux kernel. This one will potentially give us the early support for Linux kernel 7.0, which is expected to come with only a few handful of Linux distributions, and that will include support for newer generation processors and hardware lineups, for example the Intel Nova Lake processors or the Diamond Rapid Xeon chips or the AMD Zen 6 processors or the ARM64 introduction support along with RISC-V security support. Yeah, all of that stuff along with the future support for AMD GPUs and all the other stuff, and improved USB and display drivers as well. And yep, support for the upcoming integrated graphics along with that. Leaving that, let's get to the fun part. File system improvements are there as well with better performance for ext4 and improvement in F2FS support. Yep, that means that your storage options and formats are gonna be way better in terms of performance and efficiency. And yes, this particular variant properly focuses on ARM and laptop support. As we know, ARM lineups are all over the internet about how Snapdragon CPUs are rocking, so they had to give the support and compatibility with that. Now we have better AArch64 EFI support, improved compatibility with Windows on ARM support. That means because ARM based PCs are like way too increasingly common these days, and that's why Linux has to be a viable option there as well. Even though the applications are not properly supported yet, but still, at last there is something, you know. And talking about this particular variant, Fedora 44, and its role in the Linux ecosystem, then I'd just like to say one thing. Many innovations first appear in Fedora before they are adapted to enterprise-level systems like Red Hat or other distributions. And that is why, because the particular reason why Fedora gives the latest technology, the latest of the greatest things which are developed as soon as possible, along with the stability to use it on your main machines. and that's why it remains one of the most forward-looking Linux distributions available in the market. Now, to sum it up, you have GNOME 50, latest version, and then KDE Plasma 6.6 integration as well, along with the newest, the Plasma Login Manager, which has replaced SDDM, and improved next-gen Linux kernel support, along with all the other stuff, along with better ARM laptop compatibility. To be honest, all of this, actually, I believe these updates continue the Fedora's tradition of developing a modern high-performance Linux experience for all the users. And yes, these updates, Fedora 44, will be available in multiple editions as always. The Fedora Workstation, the official one with which comes with GNOME, then Fedora KDE Plasma Desktop, which comes with the latest KDE Plasma 6.6, then Fedora Server, then Fedora IoT, and then Fedora Cloud. Well, talking about it, I believe Fedora is just the perfect option for anyone. Like right now, I'm using Manjaro for obvious reasons, because Manjaro gives me the complete control I require. But for someone who doesn't understand much about Linux world and how the core components of a Linux distribution work, they just want something out of the box, they just want the stability along with latest of the greatest goodies, then Fedora is the way to go. So yep, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know there are not much of a big feature updates coming to the distribution, but if you see it properly, then it is still an upgrade. And these things matter more than flashy new upgrades and features which just capture the attention of news sites for some time and then mess your world up. This is better. And with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and I'll meet you next video. Till then, I'm Moon, signing out. Alright then, so I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and yes. So yep, I'll meet you next video. Till then, I'm Moon, signing out.